never thought a simple Tuesday afternoon would change everything he believed about my family. But there I was, standing in my kitchen, listening to my stepson reveal a truth that had been hidden in plain sight for 20 years. My name is Eleanor. I'm 58 years old, and I've spent the last 2 decades building what he thought was a beautiful blended family. When he married Robert, he came with a 7-year-old son named Michael. Sweet, quiet Michael with his father's dark eyes and a smile that could light up a room. He remembered the first time he met him. He was sitting on the porch steps of Robert's old house, wearing a baseball cap that was too big for his head. He looked up at me with such hope in his eyes, and my heart just melted. I promised myself that day he would love this boy like my own. And he did. Oh, how he did. Through the years, we had our moments. The typical struggles of any parent and child. Homework battles, curfew arguments. That time I borrowed my car without asking and came home with a small dent in the fender. But through it all, there was love. So much love. Michael grew into a fine young man. He went to college, started a career in engineering, got married to a wonderful woman named Sarah, and gave us 2 beautiful grandchildren. Every Sunday, we'd have dinner together. Every holiday, our home was filled with laughter and the smell of home cooking. Robert passed away 3 years ago. Heart attack, sudden and cruel. Michael was there for me through every tear, every sleepless night. He helped me sort through his father's things, held my hand at the funeral, and called me every single day for months just to make sure I was eating properly. That's the kind of man he became. So when Michael called last Tuesday and asked if he could come by alone, without Sarah and the kids, he felt a small flutter of concern. But he pushed it aside. Maybe he wanted to talk about Sarah. Maybe they were having problems. Maybe he needed advice about work. He made his favorite cookies. Chocolate chip with walnuts, just like I'd been making since he was 8 years old. He brewed a fresh pot of coffee and waited by the window, watching for his car. He arrived right on time. That's Michael, always punctual. But when he walked through the door, he could see something was different. His shoulders were tense. His smile didn't quite reach his eyes. We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where we'd shared thousands of meals. Where I'd helped him with algebra homework. Where we talked about his first heartbreak. Where Ed told me he was going to propose to Sarah. He wrapped his hands around his coffee mug and stared into it for what felt like forever. Mom, he finally said, and my heart squeezed at that word. Ed started calling me Mom when he was 12. I need to tell you something. He reached across the table and put my hand over his. Whatever it is, sweetheart, you can tell me. He took a deep breath. Sarah and I have been going through some family history stuff. You know, for the kids. Medical history and all that. And he decided to do one of those DNA tests. He nodded, not understanding yet where this was going. The results came back last week. He looked up at me, and I saw tears in his eyes. That wasn't my biological father. The words hung in the air between us. I felt my world tilt slightly on its axis. What? He whispered. Mom found out she was pregnant right before she and Dad got married. She never told him. Never told me. She took that secret to her grave when she died all those years ago. His voice cracked. He called Dad's brother, Uncle Jim. He confirmed it. He said the whole family knew, but Dad asked them never to mention it. He said Dad chose me. He chose to be my father. He sat there, absorbing this information about the man I'd loved for 23 years. The man who had never once, not even in anger or frustration, made any distinction between Michael and any biological child we might have had. We tried for years to have a baby together, but it never happened. And Robert had always said it was okay because he had Michael, and Michael was enough. I'm so sorry he never told you, Michael said, misunderstanding my silence. I just found out myself, and I didn't know how to process it. But then he realized something. He squeezed my hand tighter. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. Because the truth is, Dad was my father in every way that counts. It taught me how to ride a bike. I sat through every baseball game, even the ones where I spent more time picking dandelions than paying attention. El pet me moved into my first apartment. I walked me through my first real breakup. He was there. And so were you, I continued, his voice thick with emotion. You chose me too, Mom. You didn't have to love me the way you did. It wasn't yours by blood. But you never treated me like I was anything less than your son. The tears were streaming down my face now. You are my son, I managed to say. You have always been my son. I know, I said, smiling through his own tears. That's what I came to tell you. I came to say thank you. Thank you for showing me that family isn't about DNA. It's about showing up. It's about choosing each other every single day. You and Dad, you both chose me. And that means more than any blood relation ever could. We both stood up at the same time and embraced. I held my son, my beautiful son, and felt overwhelmed with gratitude for the life we'd built together. Your father would be so proud of the man you've become, I whispered into his shoulder. I learned from the best, I whispered back. We stayed like that for a long time, in my kitchen, surrounded by the ghosts of ordinary Tuesday afternoons and Sunday dinners and Christmas mornings. Surrounded by love. When Michael finally left that evening, I stood at the window and watched his car disappear down the street. I thought about Robert, about the secret Ed carried with such grace. About the choice Ed made to love without condition or reservation. And he understood something profound in that moment. Love isn't something that happens to you. It's something you choose, every day, in 1,000 small ways. In the cookies you bake and the tears you dry and the presents you offer. Michael had come to tell me a truth I thought might change everything. But instead, it had only confirmed what I'd always known. We were a family, not because of biology or obligation, but because of choice. Because of kindness, because of love, and that truth was the only one that really mattered. That night, I pulled out the old photo albums and looked at pictures of Michael growing up. That serious little boy in the too big baseball cap had become a man who understood what truly makes a family. And I was grateful beyond words that I'd been chosen to be part of his story. Just as I'd been chosen to be part of mine.